What's up, guys? So I am slightly obsessed with hollow body frogs. Like a lot of people are across the country, especially in the South when you can throw them nearly year round. And if you're anything like me, you probably have a grand collection of different brands and styles and types and models laying around in your boat and in your storage compartments and even in your garage. But there's a couple recent releases from Scum Frog that I've been thoroughly impressed with. I've been playing with them for the last several weeks and trying to figure out which ones work best in what situations. And there's a couple that I have come to adore. There's two lines that I'm going to talk about. There is first, and you've probably heard this, you've seen some pretty popular pro anglers and YouTubers alike catching absolute studs on this. You've seen it win an Elite Series competition. In fact, Lee Livesey's first blue trophy came on this frog at Chickamauga. And this is a Scum Frog launch frog. It's a little heavier in weight than a lot of your hollow body frogs, and it's actually got a tungsten weight attached to the hooks on the inside. So whenever you cast this, you are going to cast it a mile. And the way Scum Frog has designed this frog with the internal tungsten and the weights that they have in this thing is it is going to fly a country mile whenever you cast it. In fact, the first time that I casted it with my brew and reel, spooled up 65-pound braid, fresh braid the day before, tied it on, couldn't wait to get to the lake the next day. I threw it and near about spooled my reel. It is designed to go long distances. But not even that. I mean, the body itself has really impressed me from the colors. The colors are great, but it is a very soft, supple body. It has not taken on an ounce of water at all. It relieves itself very well, on which, you know, if you struggle with hollow body frogs, that separates a lot of the good ones from the bad ones. And even the good ones take on water every now and then. I have yet to have an issue with this one taking on water and having to squeeze it out very often at all. But with that soft body, the biggest thing that I have noticed is my hookup ratios have gone up, especially the way this is designed to be fished over long distances in heavy cover. You want as little between the hooks and that fish as possible. You're already having to deal with grass, you're already having to deal with trying to penetrate those hooks on a long cast. The last thing you want is a hard body that's going to keep those hooks from penetrating. So with the super soft body that they have on this frog, it is absolute killer, and it is designed to be cast long distances, to cover a lot of water in the heaviest of cover, and most importantly, to get the hook in the fish so that you can land the fish. Now the next frog, what I did with the launch frog is I went out for a couple weeks throwing just the launch frog. All the other frogs in my boat I did not touch. I just wanted to spend some time with the launch frog. And I actually did quite well, even not fishing mats, even, you know, skipping it under bushes on the river and moving water. It did well. It walks extremely well. But there was a lot of places where I wish I had a smaller profile bait that was a little bit lighter, that was going to be a little easier to maneuver if you're trying to fish it around docks and laydowns and overhanging bushes and things like that. But I really liked what Scum Frog had done, and that was actually the first Scum Frog that I've ever thrown. So I went looking through our Sportsman's Outfitters catalog, and on our website I found that they also had the Scum Frog, the Trophy Painted Series frogs. And it's a little smaller design, it's a lighter gauge hook, it's got smaller legs. And guys, let me tell you, I've absolutely fallen in love with this thing. I keep a rod in my truck so that if I ever ease down to my pond we've got on the farm, you typically want a frog, but I typically want a smaller profile to kind of match the bait that's in there. So I've gone onto my pond and I've actually gotten well acquainted with the Trophy Painted Series. Now, first and foremost is the Trophy Painted Series. So the colors in this bad boy are bar none. Several of the colors, I actually bought one of each just because I couldn't decide. They all look really good. Now, the launch frog One key feature I like in it is the big, bushy, thick legs. It's got a lot of leg, and even leaving those full legs on it, I could walk it really, really well. You can walk this launch frog, no problem at all. But the thing is, when you get a smaller body and a lot of leg, you can't walk that frog as good. And to match this smaller profile, it is actually smaller legs. And I've done 0 modifications to these frogs. I typically pull one out of the pack and go to hacking away immediately. But these, I have fished straight out of the package and caught fish on both straight out of the package. No modifications, no bending the hooks, no trimming the legs. They have worked great. So if I could give my advice on when and where to throw these, the launch frog with the weight, the big soft body, the big legs, the big stout hooks, I'm throwing this over mats. I'm throwing this over pads. I'm throwing this long distances, covering lots of water, looking for big fish that I've got to drag out of cover. This is gonna be your everyday go-to frog if you're fishing around more sparse vegetation, if you're skipping under docks, under overhanging bushes, fishing more open water, or if you got smaller forage, like if you're trying to imitate smaller bluegill or shad, then the Trophy Painted series is gonna absolutely be your go-to frog. So guys, I recommend both of these frogs. Give Scum Frog a look next time you go in to restock your frog box or add to your frog box. Check out the Launch Frog, check out the Trophy Painted series at sportsmansoutfitters.com.